This is All Access MMA.
It is so great having the number 12 ranked women's bantamweight Pannie Kianzad back here on the program. Pannie, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's always good to talk to you. Before we get into what could be next for you and everything else, just wanted to ask how you been since the last fight. If everything good, you healthy, you've been training. What's been the latest with you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been good. I suffered a bit. I had some problems with my cornea and my eyes that happened in the fight. I cannot say how it happened. It wasn't like I got poked or anything, but I think I got accidentally scratched. And that's something I had a problem with in the past before, like, because I got poked so many times during the past years. Just one second.
Yeah, no worries.
Hunden på båten. Okay. Sorry, I have dogs running around here.
It's okay. I get it. Yeah.
So during the years, I got poked a lot. And that kind of like made my cornea really weak somehow. So as soon as like somebody get like near my eye, it could get like the few hours after could be really bad. But I think I have it under control now. I haven't had any problems since the fight. So
okay, that's good. Good to hear.
yeah, basically I was training a few days. I got home from Vegas. And I couldn't see for a couple of days. Actually, I couldn't see anything because I was like it was really bad. But after those days, I was back in the training.
Interesting. Okay, so and it was just the one eye, or was it just one eye or both eyes that had the issue?
No, that was that one eye.
Okay.
But just because it was hurting me so much to keep the other eye open, I just like kept it closed.
That's crazy. So what's like? I mean, the doctors. Yeah. I'm sure you've spoken to them and stuff. Everything's a-okay now, or what's sort of the update on that?
I mean, it's fine. It happens if you deal with this kind of contact sport and you get like fingers in the eye. When you wrestle and if they just like go through like the eyelid or anything, that's super painful. And I just think it happened to me so many times. So Okay. I just have to. I was even like looking for like basketball glasses a week ago.
Oh, right. Yeah. I know. Like back in the day, they used to wear those a lot. So, okay. Well, glad to hear the eye is good. Before we get into you and sort of talk about what's next, we got to talk about UFC 269. We had a huge upset on the weekend. Juliana Pena defeating Amanda Nunes. How surprised were you with that result, especially the way that Juliana finished the fight?
I wasn't that surprised. I just like, I know like, I kind of was surprised, but not like, it wasn't like when Nunes fought Cyborg. Right. Surprised. That was surprising. But this was like, I know me and my boyfriend has been talking about it like for a couple of months now. We've been following, first it was going to happen a few months ago. And he was saying like for months, he's like, I think Pena beats her. And it was kind of interesting when we talked about it because he's like, not because she's necessarily better, but he's like, I don't think Amanda is that super technical. And I just think if you put a lot of pressure on her, kind of like the Kat Zingano fight, if you weather the storm a bit. Yeah, and then I think you can do your work because you saw in the first round, Amanda was winning the round pretty easy.
It's true.
And then, I mean, she came back and she kept doing like she was in her face. And I think you have to do that when you fight somebody like Amanda. You have to be in her face because she's not winning because she's that much better technically than you, but she's cold.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think COVID played a role at all? Because we did see her get pretty tired in that second round, but at the same time, she was getting teed off a little bit too. Pena was really hitting her with that jab.
I don't know. I thought she looked kind of weird walking in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't think Amanda would have fought if she wasn't like 100% good.
Yeah. Well, the reason I mentioned that too is that I was going to say she had the canceled fight before, so maybe there's some pressure for her to get back in there. Plus, she hasn't fought at bantamweight in almost 2 years, so there was that too. So I don't know. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I was just kind of looking at different, things that could have impacted the result. Not taking anything away from Juliana because she had a great performance.
No, I don't. I don't think that. I think Pina did great. And I mean, if you look at the fight, it wasn't like, oh my God, there's like such a huge technical advantage from Pina, right? No,
Mhm.
it wasn't. It kind of, I mean, if you look at the fight, if you ask like good strikers, if you ask me, for example, I thought it looked dog shit, to be honest, standing. That's what I thought. But it's an MMA fight. Who the fuck cares? It's not like
Yeah.
a boxing fight. So I thought, yeah, okay, that looked pretty, you know. I was expecting like more. You know, when you see Valentina fight, that's some technical stuff.
Yeah.
You know, even on her worst day, she looks good. You know, I don't even haven't even seen a worst day out of her. So, but Pina made it um more of a dogfight. She made it like kind of. She didn't want to play technical with her because she knew that's not how you win against Amanda. You have to like go in there and make it a bit ugly. So that
Uh,
worked.
yeah, no, absolutely agree with that. And then got to get your reaction as well to the main event. Charles Oliveira submitting Dustin Poirier. There was a lot of people who felt like Poirier was going to win. He was the betting favorite going in. Were you surprised by that result, or were you expecting Oliveira to defeat him?
No, I was expecting Oliveira to win. Like it was pretty hard in the beginning. I mean, he got punched down and everything, but I think Oliveira is like one of the best games I ever seen.
Yeah,
Like
no, I'm with you there.
He has the good mix of both standing, wrestling, and grappling.
Let's get back to you. I know last fight did not go the way you wanted. Your last
Yeah,
opponent actually is fighting this Saturday, which is interesting, against Miesha Tate. But
yeah.
what did you learn the most from that fight? What did you take away the most? We mentioned the eye injury, but were there any other things that you can kind of take away from that?
Yeah, my eye injury had nothing to do with it actually, because I could see no
Mhm.
problem with that. So, no, I just like, when you come to that like level of fighting, when you're fighting somebody as Raquel, a top 10 or even less top 5, I don't know where she's ranked right now, is that everything comes down to fight day. Who's best on fight day? And I was not best on fight day that day.
Okay.
And I'm that honest that I can say that. I don't blame anything else. I don't believe in mental problems. I don't believe in like other stuff. I just believe on fight day, and I wasn't there on fight day. So, and who knows? It could look completely different on another fight day. But I'm not gonna push myself down for that because I fought for such a long time that I know that loss doesn't matter. I mean, I had a good year. I really had. And don't get me wrong, I really wanted to finish off with 5-0. That would be amazing. But I knew who I was fighting as well. So it was not an easy task. And I just didn't do what I was supposed to do. I was not good on fight day. On that fight day. So, but that doesn't affect me at all now because I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what I need to work on, and I've been doing it since I got home. So I have no, you know, uh, problems with looking forward. That's why I want to fight.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And looking forward, I know people have been following you on social media. You want Miesha Tate next, and she's coming off a
yeah,
loss as well to Ketlin Vieira. Has there been any update from your management on that fight? Because it does make sense if you look at the rankings, if you look at the fact that she's coming off a loss just like you are. It seems like a fight that would make sense. Has there been any update?
nothing yet. I know my manager wanted me to call her out then because we wanted to give it. He told me after her fight, give it some time for healing process and everything.
Mhm.
And I know she got a big 180 days of suspension, but I knew it won't be 180 days. I mean, she was pretty recovered. You can see that. So that just like and yeah, I mean, if you look at rankings, the only two that were left that weren't injured or gone or just had babies or like fighting somebody was me and Macy, and Macy just got booked.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. And we both lost to Raquel.
Good point.
I mean, the only reason why I see that she doesn't want to fight me is because maybe she doesn't think that I'm a big enough name for her. That's the
Although
only
saying
thing
that,
I
she
see.
fought Ketlin Vieira. I know rankings wise it makes sense, but Ketlin wasn't a big name in the division. Like she, in terms of like, you know, notoriety, right? Obviously she was ranked high, but that I was surprised when she took that fight, to be honest, because I thought, you know, you could have rematched Holly Holm. Like there was a lot of different options that I think would have paid, you know, a little bit more dividends. But I think it was about the title shot, right? Had she won that, she would have got the title shot, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so ranking wise, it makes sense. We lost last time she lost was against Rocky.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was Vera, and but I mean before that,
Yeah,
it was
before that.
against
Yeah, I know
Rocky.
what you meant. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
So I
interesting.
mean, it totally makes sense, and why not? We can do it in Europe. They're coming to Europe, so
They're going back there. We know they're
I
going
mean,
to
I
London
know
for
she
sure.
hasn't fought in Europe. She's never fought in Europe. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, there's
So
that. And then one other name I got to just throw out there, just because if you look at the rankings right now,
yeah.
she's still there, is Aspen Ladd. But I don't think the UFC is going to let her fight at 135 anymore. What are your thoughts on that? Because it's not the fact that she missed weight. It's the fact that every cut she's had, at least the last 3 or 4, she hasn't looked that great on the scale. So if you're the UFC, you got to be a little bit concerned about that. Do you see Aspen getting another fight at 135?
Uh, Let me say this, like, just like that, even that people are even talking about putting Ladd and Tate together is kind of shocking to me because you don't know if the fight is gonna happen. Like, okay, let's say Miesha doesn't want to fight me. She's like, I want to fight Ladd. Okay, then I want to be a stand-in because who knows if she's gonna get there? Yeah, I mean, she's
Right.
probably okay. She's gonna make weight. Maybe she makes weight, but is she gonna get medically cleared?
Yeah.
We don't know about that. I mean, do they want to take that risk? What if they're like main event? What if they co-main?
Yeah.
I never said no to a UFC fight. I've always been there. I mean, even the first time I signed the contract to fight Rocky. She first time didn't happen, but I was still there, and I got a new opponent. So now I just like, I think it's kind of weird that they even thinking about it just because their beef. It's not even a beef.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not a beef just because she said that her coach is kind of weird. I don't know.
Was too hard on her with the corner advice was I think what she said, which is interesting because I know they've been linked together for a while in terms of a matchup, so
Yeah.
maybe there's something there too. I don't know, but we'll have to see that. But back to you and Miesha, style wise, how do you look at that fight? I mean, we really got a glimpse of Miesha's I think capabilities in the fight with Ketlin Vieira because Ketlin was a highly ranked opponent. Marion, nothing against her, but Marion was retiring after that, so you got to look at the optics of that fight in terms of her performance there. But how do you look at you and Miesha Tate as far as the style matchup?
I think they're on paper it's like grappler versus striker.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, I don't think it's going to be like that. I mean, I have I have 6 fights in the UFC, I think 6 fights. And I haven't shown that much of my grappling because like my matchups has been like, okay, so people want to take you down and it's been mostly like standing. But I mean, if people would see me train, it's like the thing I do least is striking. So I never get to show anything, but it's fine. I mean, that thing will come. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I don't want to show off my best stuff, but I think on paper it will be like that. But I think that, I think it will be a really good fight because, I mean, I think I represent a new era of fighting. I think that I have a lot of fights. I have 22 pro fights, but she is kind of like from old school, and I feel like this is she wants to come back, right? She wants to come back. She made that really clear. She wants to come back and come for a belt. I don't think she can just go for a belt without going through all of us in the middle. That's been there for a couple of years, and it's me. It's Miesha Tate. It's I mean, you have all those girls in between, even Ladd and everybody. I mean, you have to go through them, like we are, So I just think that it's a good matchup too because, I mean, she's coming back, and if she thinks she's like, if she can be a champ again, I don't think she can be champ without beating us, and I don't
That's
think
true.
she will.
And ideally, when would you like that fight to take place? When would you like to have your next fight? Have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I mean, February, March would be good.
There you go. Before we get out of here, got to ask about Biggie. How's he doing? Again, I know when you're away for these, these fights, sometimes you bring him. I know other times you can't with COVID and everything. So how's he been doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask him.
I was gonna say we got to get him on camera here. I mean, that's pretty much mandatory. There we go. Oh, look at him. Love him.
Yeah.
So
He's doing great. We're living out in the country right now.
Cool.
So we have we're renting a big house in the middle of nowhere, in a different city, actually, a few hours from us. So he's in the woods, like he's in a lot of nature and everything. He's born to be a city pug, but now he's in the country. So.
And what are your plans for the holiday season? You mentioned being up in the country. Are you staying there throughout Christmas, or what are the plans?
Going home to my family for Christmas, coming back here for New Year's. I'm now with one of my coaches at a different place. So I'm not actually where I used to be in Denmark.
Oh, interesting.
So I've kind of switched my locations. Yeah, I switched my locations. I've been, for those of you that don't know, I've been training in Denmark for about 9 years. And first time in 9 years, I'm back in Sweden training. So
interesting. Okay, that's cool. And
yeah, that's a big part of my training right now. So
what prompted that move?
Needing some environment change.
Okay.
Kind of like been training, having the same training partners for like 8-9 years is fine. That's no problem. I just needed some new environment and some new ideas, and just because we had a good run this year. This year has been really good, but I think you need to do changes even though it's going well.
Of course, got to
you
evolve.
You
got
to get better. Yes, change things up to get better. Being kind of uncomfortable. And that's something like I don't like to be. I'm a very comfortable person. I like structure and I like to be, home. I like it to be comfortable and everything. So that's what I needed. So we found a house behind my trainer's house in the middle of nowhere.
Awesome.
So it's kind of like it's nice to wake up here and you don't hear anything and get better sleep, and you can relax more, because when I'm at home I live right in town, and it's a different kind of like feeling here. See how it feels to be here a couple of months.
It's good.
But I'm definitely doing my camp here.
Awesome. And good Wi-Fi too. We got through this interview. So Pannie, really appreciate it. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, so thank you to all my sponsors. I have Celsius, Bulldog Media, and X Gamer that's supporting me every month and everything for every fight. And yeah, follow me on Pannie Kianzad on Twitter and on Instagram, and check up the updates and everything. And please help me spread this word of needing a fight. So thank you so much.